there are two different ways to work with forms in Angular. Now, what we're trying to do is first we're trying to understand template driven forms. We're using route 1 for the template driven forms. We'll create the same form in two different formats. So I'll try to capture the personal details. So H3 template driven forms. So now, so what are my fields that I want for this? I want to capture name, email, phone. That's it. This is I want to capture. So I can go to template and just create field set legend. What else we have? Three more fields. Now I have my form ready, I believe. So if I go
You
here,
need to change that name to phone.
sorry, okay, sorry. Last one, phone. Okay, this still can be phone number because I just want to capture it as string. And finally, the labels are missing. Name and maybe placeholder makes a lot of sense. Email ID. Save. Yeah, this form looks good. Route 2 is route 2, so we have it in route 1. Now, I wanted to attach this, so I want to capture this after this is done. So I need to wrap it in form. Action, I don't want to. I just wanted to capture this in. That's good. So ng submit, on submit is a method I should create. I forgot that I had this, and wrap everything inside a form. Now, if I put as type submit here, input type submit and close here. I think when I try to submit this, okay, it's just saying template driven forms are not being famously used right now. So it says what? No directive found for ng form. So the reason is that we haven't imported the forms module, I believe. Route 1, route 1. Yes, we don't. So to use template driven forms, we need to import forms module. Imports. Any form that you need extra, you need to import it from here. So now all the errors are gone. So this ng form was unknown before. Now we can figure out that. So now, so yeah, redirection is start. Have to first know if this button is being clicked. Good. The button is being, whenever this form is being submitted, the submit action is now accessible in component. Now here I can accessible. Now, how do the template is ready, template action is ready, and now I know when the user is being submitted, but how do I capture this information is, the mystery part. Now I have this data, okay, so I can use and type tag each of these parameter banana in square. We know that what that is ng model is equals to form data dot name. So you update this value, whatever happens. Okay, you put that information here on this property. And same way, you put email on email property. And you put phone on phone property. Okay. Now, if you try to print the form data is what? If I try to interpolate this, I'll get what? Object. So if I wanted to, not just see the data inside it, you need to use the pipe called JSON. Remember we discussed pipes. So if you put JSON pipe, it will print the JSON it will convert that JSON object to string and print here. Okay, that will happen in real time. So now if I'm making some change on name, that particular property, this particular property's name field getting updated because I tagged this name property to this field, name field. Okay, whenever I type email, the email is being updated. Whenever I type phone number, the phone number is being updated. Now, when I click this object is already updated. So this object is already having that information that I need to send that to information. Let us check if it is having that information. So this tag. And now if I try to this, since we are entering some information, now you could see that information that I entered is actually being accessible here. So now model is being typed to, tagged to the UI in this form ng model. And now I'm getting this. I can call a server endpoint and send this as data if needed. We can implement the validation on this guy. So first you say ng model. Let this model be available for HTML in the form of name. The ng model should be inside name. Now I can access this field itself. I can say I can access certain properties of this name field. So I'm trying to access pristine. That means is it dirty or pristine? So if once I click it and now it is no longer pristine. User did actually try to enter something. So that pristine is nothing but did he try to change ever once? So whenever I try to change once, so if I reload my page, it is pristine, true. That means the first time opened, user did not try to enter anything or any set. First character entered, the pristine is false. Okay, then next what? So this is valid false because it is set to required. So if I remove the required, by default, it will be valid true. The value will be true because you are not adding any condition here. If you set valid required, so the the name dot valid is false because it is set to required and nothing is entered in it. So it is set to false. Now I can use these two things and display a particular message to user. So let me use this. Okay. Span name is required. That is what he did. And I just wanted to use hidden property of that HTML element. So if it is valid to true, don't show this. If it is valid to false, show this. So that's what we did here. So this is actually coming right beside the other, but I put a BR and come here. Name is required. So let me just add some styles. Come here. Error, dot error, font size 11px, color maroon, and I take this, go here and add it to the class. Fine. Yes, didn't save everything. So now this is name is required to true. So this is required, but comment out this. So now it is required. So now I'll enter it. It is required and it is filled. No need to show that message. And same goes with the rest of the items. But is it a good practice to show this message directly? Do we get to see this message whenever you try to fill it? And if you did not fill it, then you will say this is a required field, you need to update. That's what we need to do. User should make some action, right? So if it is set to required and nothing is entered, now we are saying name is required. But why to show this message, error message, right in the beginning? Okay, that's not important. So that's when the pristine actually comes into place. Now hide this message if the name is valid. Hide this message even if this message is invalid. See if the user did actually try to change it or not. If he did not try to change it, then hide this. You don't show this. So now I don't see that message by default. Now I try to change it. Now this is valid. So no message. I did try to change. Pristine is now false. I try to change that and make it valid to also false. Then both are false. Now this is coming. So same way we can implement for the others. So just to notify that user. Yeah. So this is one global CSS that you can use, to. So this is an invalid statement. It is valid. So there are automatically few classes being added to a particular element based on this valid, required, or invalid form or something. So Angular takes care about adding those classes to that particular element, and all you need to do is customize that, access those classes and customize that input, and you will see. So this is about template driven forms. Finally, you get the data when you submit. Okay, you can validate that information.